Yes, it is.
It is live. Good.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. It's Shamila Ramjiwan coming to you from the beautiful Johannesburg, South Africa on the Red Corner Show. I have a very special guest tonight, and I'm going to tell you all about him. He's doing amazing work in his communities. I have the pleasure of interviewing a very special guest, the newly appointed Member of Parliament in South Africa. Wow. The Honorable Mr. Brandon Pele, a community leader activist. He's the chairperson of the Bayview Flats Residents Association. Yes, it is going to be a mouthful. Former Ward Councillor, Ward 69, a lot of you will know that. Served as a manager granting aid, eThekwini Municipality. Chairperson, Bayview Community Policing Forum. For over 2 decades, one name reverberates in the suburb of Bayview, Chatsworth, and can be heard throughout the city of Durban. That name is Brandon Pele, who from the tender age of 17 has been involved in activism aimed at curbing social ills in the community and fostering inter-race and cultural relations. So Mr. Pele has many qualifications. I'm not going to go too much into that. We're going to chat about that. But he's currently a Master's in Public Administration candidate at the UKZN, exhibiting the unique trait of valiance over the past 22 years. Brandon Pele has dedicated his life to solving the many social ills in the multicultural and neglected community of Bayview, Chatsworth. Hello, Brandon, how are you?
Hi, Shamila, and good evening to all your viewers. Firstly, thank you very much for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure. So do I call you Honorable Member of Parliament, or do I call you Brandon, or do I call you Mr. Pele? What do I call you?
So the Parliament decorum is honorable, but since I'm on your show, Brandon's fine.
Awesome. You know, I'm so nervous. I've got goosebumps just talking to you, representing us in Parliament and being sworn in last Wednesday. We're going to get into all of that. But before we start, maybe you want to tell the audience, who is Brandon Pele?
Oh, Brandon Pele is, well, no longer a young man, become an adult now, but 39 years. I live in a community in Bayview in Chatsworth. I have a family of 6, and sadly I lost one brother at the age of 21. Both my parents are late, so I live with my aunt. We live in a council flat in Chatsworth, and that's where I've been born and bred and lived all my life. Family is very dear to me, and we're very family orientated. But yeah, I was just born and brought up here, and one day, after losing my brother, I looked around and I asked myself, what causes these things to happen? Because my brother was actually murdered in my community, he was stabbed. And he had just entered 21. I'd come out of school, matric, I still remember, I was 17. And there was lots of community issues in Bayview that they were facing. And we needed to do something, there needed to be change. And so, yeah, that was a turning point for me in my life. So apart from all the titles, I'm Brandon from Bayview, and I still consider myself as an activist.
I'm sorry about your brother. That's really sad. Was that one of the reasons why you got very involved in the community?
I must say that that was one of the turning points, particularly because when this incident happened, he was only 21. And I begin to ask myself, what causes people to cause pain or harm to someone for very minor reasons? And there had to be a reason for change. And so I wanted to create that change in my community.
So community activism, that seems like it's in your blood. That's where it all started. What does it mean to you as a person, as an individual, because you're so involved in what you do?
I believe that before you become a professional or in any kind of career or path in life, you belong to a community. So whether you're a teacher, you're a doctor, you're a policeman, or a member of parliament, you still belong to a community. So you live in a community. And you can't divorce community from yourself. And hence, there is a need for you to be able to work on the ground and interact with people daily.
I love that. You know, I can see the passion and I can see why it took you to where you are right now. But we're going to talk about the past and then we're going to go to the present, because I think that's very interesting where we touch on the present. But you served as the coordinator for the, no, let's just backtrack a little bit. Chairperson for Bayview Flats Residents Association. Such a long name and term. What does that entail? You know, that portfolio. Take me through that journey.
So that's BFRA, and you'll be able to say it easily. In 1999, I had a Damascus moment. The late Professor Fatima Mir, together with Dr. Ashwin Desai, who was doctor then and now professor, had come into Bayview Chatsworth because we were facing evictions, electricity and water cutoffs, the threats of being relocated. Now Bayview, there's a flatted community in Bayview. People that live here were actually moved through the Group Areas Act. So they were housed here in council flats, which was temporary accommodation that became, some 40 years later, they were just dumped here, and so we were affected by the Group Areas Act. And so when we were facing these onslaughts of evictions and cutoffs and bread and butter issues, Professor Mir came in to try and talk to the Indian community about not voting for a white party. And I still remember that moment because we met in an underground church here in Bayview. And I never knew that this is where my life is going to take me to, or whether that was even the starting point.
Wait, sorry, can I just stop you there? You said underground church.
Well, the church is actually in a basement.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually in a basement. It was actually in a basement.
Okay.
The Harmony Fellowship Center. Yeah, we had our first meeting there. And so I met Professor Mir, and that changed my life. Because through that and the networking, Professor Ashwin Desai got me a bursary to study political science and community development. I went on an exchange program with the Mtapo Center to the Netherlands with a group of young people. And that's when I knew there was no turning back. And I was not going to stop myself or jump off the train that was going to move towards community development. That was my Damascus moment.
How old were you then?
17.
At 17. So
Yes.
how did that affect you as a young guy, a teenager growing up, and you're so involved in the community? Did it affect your studies? Just maybe tell us some of the challenges that you faced.
It threw me in the deep end because I didn't have a young life or youthhood or youngsters kind of thing, because I was the youngest in the committee. I was the secretary for about a year or maybe less than a year, and then became the chairperson when I entered 18. So yeah, it was a deep end, a bunch of adults, the youngest person, and you are leading them. Some 22 years later, we've achieved so much. So for me, it was really that point that turned things around. And that was an amazing part of life, really.
Did you find at that stage you knew that was going to be your journey and your passion and purpose to do what you're doing now?
Yes, so let me tell you that when I was in school, I always wanted to be a doctor. And by the time I got to matric, I was still working on the straight A's and all of that, because that's what I knew. And then I got involved in the Student Representative Council at Chatsworth Secondary School, the SRC and the RCR, and I got involved in social clubs, and I realized, no, medicine's not for me. And then obviously when I matriculated, you know, the lack of funds and resources and not being able to have the money to study, when I got the bursary through the Workers' College to do the diploma, I grabbed that opportunity. And that was the starting point of getting to my master's.
Take me through some of your qualifications.
So I completed the diploma in community development and political science. And that's where it stopped, because obviously at that time, you don't have the pleasures now of a degree being free. So I could not pursue that. Then I went and did a 3-year diploma in theology through the Covenant Bible College. That was amazing. It was incredible. Then I, through my community work and doing some of the work around HIV/AIDS, home-based care, etc., I met an incredible organization called the Foundation for Professional Development. Again, I got a bursary from them to do a advanced health management program. And the advanced health management program, I actually excelled and graduated cum laude. And then I became a counselor. So I took a break from studies, and then I decided, no, I have to go and do my honors. And then I pursued my Bachelor of Public Administration honors at Mensgoza. I graduated with that, and then I enrolled. And then I enrolled for my master's at UKZN. Yeah, and I would have graduated already, but due to COVID last year, we had some challenges. But I will be graduating at the next graduation this year.
That is wonderful. I can see that you're unstoppable. And the reason why I said yay is because I'm a current DBA candidate at Mensgoza.
Awesome, awesome. Yesterday, Mensgoza went on all social media posting about the alumni that has gone to Parliament. Yeah, so you'll see it.
That is wonderful. I don't know how I missed that, but I have to see it because I've just been so busy today. But anyway, I'm sure I'll get to that. Well done. Congratulations on all that you've achieved. And I can see that it was just not sitting back and being complacent, but you went on to actually further your studies as well and being a master's student now. So where to from there in terms of academic?
I want the doctorate, definitely. So the moment I get my results, I will enroll for the doctorate. The PhD was my goal and my dream. And I will pursue the PhD as soon as I get my results.
Trust me, it's achievable. You can do it. If you put your mind to it, just stay inspired and motivated and just hang around with positive people around you, you can achieve that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Brandon, just your projects in your ward. Okay, firstly, tell me about your ward, okay? How did that, I know you brushed on it a little bit. How did it actually happen? You're now a councillor for a ward. Can I become a councillor for a ward?
Yes, you can. So let me tell you the difference, Shamila, is that I started working on the ground through the Bayview Flats Residents Association and all the community projects and just assisting community with all the social ills and providing that support that was not there. And so the community was saying, you should stand for elections. And at that time, I still remember there was some talk about standing as an independent. And I said, you know what, that's not going to work. And I didn't accept that, that opportunity. But in 2011, I would say 2010, and I was already by that time a member of the ANC. I was a branch secretary, was very involved in the movement. It was local government elections. And we needed a candidate. And so the branch then nominated me to be the candidate. And you went through this vigorous process of selection. And eventually I became the candidate. So I was the face of the ANC in this ward. And I still remember that the poster said, champion of the people.
Wow.
That was the poster on my banner. So the difference is that I started on the ground, working in community, and then went to become elected. And really, that's what it was. People knew me because of the work that I'd already done, and that's how I got elected. So I won the election in 2011, and I must tell you this is important. It was on my birthday. On the 18th of May, 2011, I turned 30, and I became the ward councillor.
Congratulations. Well done. What a beautiful birthday present.
Yeah, so I didn't celebrate my 30th birthday, just so you know, because I was busy on the ground and we were canvassing, and then we went to the night and you were counting and the results were announced. So I kind of missed my birthday. But yeah, it was an exciting moment. And so I served as a ward councillor from 2011 to 2017. And I must tell you, there were huge changes in this ward. Service delivery was at its peak. I was actually very innovative. I was one of the first people to innovate and to create a WhatsApp group for service delivery. So I launched a WhatsApp number for the ward, and we had a dedicated line where the community will send in their complaints, and we will report it and we'll give them feedback and we interact. So, and it was launched in the ward, and it was the first time that something like that ever happened. So it was quite an innovative thing. But we had one of the most active war rooms, which is Operation Sakumasaki. We had outreach programs every quarter. It was amazing. It was amazing. There was a lot that happened in the ward, yeah.
That is wonderful. I've got a message here from Lee Patel, who says, proud to be a witness of the change that occurred in the ward. So you have your followers here, Brandon.
Thank you very much, Lee.
And he says, glad to be under your leadership, sir. Well, you can see you've touched the lives of many people. In terms of the projects that you worked with in the community of Bayview, what stands out for you?
I think for me, it's about the social relief. You know, apart from creating so many opportunities, being able to provide for a family that is less fortunate and can't afford that. So there were many families that were able to, and there's this annual event that we have for senior citizens around Mandela Day. That is the most heartwarming thing for me. It's because we are able to provide not just a hot meal, but a blanket, food parcel for the elderly, because often they are the ones that are forgotten about. So that for me stands out from all the work that we do. But as councillor, I must tell you that there were many young people that got opportunities that went on from skills programs and learnerships and trainings and found permanent employment. So for me, as long as there were lives changed, even if it was one, I think there was an impact.
Absolutely, I so agree with you. So Brandon, your family, you know, seeing your picture on these posters, I'm sure that must have been really proud moments, and they even so proud of you now being in Parliament. I think they're waiting to see you on TV, because, you know, when it comes to Parliament, we all get really excited because we like to see what goes on there. We have so much of fun, actually. So how do your family feel about it?
Now, I must say that my family has been very supportive, and I must thank all of them. But also they are proud, and I make them proud, they make me proud. You know, for me, it's about having a close-knit family. And we take these values from my late parents because that's what they instilled in us. I still remember my mom took care of all my dad's sisters and the extended families and the cousins. And at one time, everybody lived in this flat, in a small flat, but everybody lived here. So we took that from them. My parents instilled so much into us. And we continue that. So it's been really proud, even through the election. I mean, they were supportive, canvassing, all of that. You know, I must tell you what happened last Wednesday. I went to be sworn in at the provincial legislature in Pietermaritzburg.
That's my hometown, by the way.
Oh, great, amazing. So before I got back, they had already created this whole atmosphere of where my brother put balloons outside with Honorable Brandon, and the community waited for me to come in and were cheering on as we drove in, and there were cars following, and it was quite I must tell you, I cried as I got into the area because it really, really touched me to know that my community appreciated this appointment. Wow,
congratulations again. I got goosebumps still. So Brandon, being sworn in, how did that feel? You know, now it's reality. You hear you've got to take these oaths and vows and whatever that goes with it, and it's a moment. How did that feel?
Shamila, at that point, I think I was still floating because it happened so fast. It happened so fast. On Sunday, I got a call, you're going to be sworn in on Wednesday. Monday, you get a call that logistics need to be sorted out. 1 o'clock on Wednesday. I'm still working in the municipality as a manager. It means I must resign. I didn't have time to hand over, to close up what I'm doing. Wednesday morning, I handed my resignation, drove to Pietermaritzburg to be sworn in. So that moment was like, okay, I'm still floating. But I started to absorb it. And the amazing thing is that I had my sister, my only sister with me, and she shared that moment. So, I had that support there. But it was incredible. And I just looked up to the heavens and I said, thank you, Lord. It's because of your favor and your grace. And thank you to my parents. I went straight from my swearing in to the gravesite to lay flowers at my mom and dad's grave to say, thank
that
you.
is special.
I'm here to tell you that I've made it and your son has reached Parliament.
Oh, I'm sure they're smiling at you from up above. Well done. These are really proud moments, yeah, really proud moments. Well done. Congratulations again. So you resigned like almost immediately. Tell me, Brandon, are you single?
Yes, I am.
Okay, wow, you can do whatever you want to do right now. Okay. So you can make decisions just like that, right?
Yeah, yes, I can.
Okay, that's the advantages of being single. So this portfolio that you have, or this position that you have now in Parliament, what does it entail? What are you supposed to do?
So I'm a member of the National Assembly, a member of Parliament in the National Assembly. It is pretty much new to me. I mean, I served as a councillor, but it's two different tiers of government. Councillor was local government, Parliament, and a member of Parliament is the National Assembly. So this is the highest decision-making body in the country, the highest office in the land. But basically, Parliament deals with your laws, your bills, all of those things. So putting in laws into place, your bills, and oversight of all the different ministries within government. I've been deployed to the Parliamentary Committee on Home Affairs. Fortunately for me, I have some experience where I ran the ID project in eThekwini, so I'm hoping to take that to this committee and create some change, because really Home Affairs needs to revive themselves. It was one of the departments that was shining, but over the years things have gotten worse, and I think it's important to bring about and create that change within the Home Affairs departments.
Wonderful, such a powerful man. So you're going to be sitting on the decision committees and making the huge decisions for South Africa. I can't wait to see, how you evolve into this huge, gigantic person that we're going to be watching on TV. Brandon, so besides Home Affairs, what else, do you intend doing for South Africa?
Well, so that's the committee that I'm deployed to, but obviously being part of the National Assembly means that you are able to articulate on issues. And I think the important thing for me is to be able to take the bread and butter issues that are facing communities on the ground to a national level and to be able to create that change. So being able to input in all of the clusters, in all of the different committees, in all of the different discussions and debates is important to give new and fresh ideas. And I think that's what I take with me, having been on the ground and seeing what's happening, and to be able to share with my other fellow peers in Parliament about how we should be doing things and what I think should be done. Because yes, I believe that we can start somewhere.
Did you meet any of your committee members yet?
We have met on a virtual platform, because due to the lockdown level, regulations level 3, you can't have gatherings. So we are on virtual platforms, and I am meeting them. We also have study groups. So yeah, I have met them already.
Wonderful. So just talking about lockdown, you became part of a team that formed COVAC, which is Chatsworth Coronavirus Action Committee. What was this about?
Yes. So at the start of lockdown, in fact, just before lockdown, when we first started having, I think, the first cases of coronavirus in South Africa, Clive Pele, an amazing man who's running the youth center in Chatsworth, called and he said, I want to get a few people together and let's have a talk about what we can do to assist Chatsworth, because we knew that whatever's going to come after that was obviously going to be, something that we needed to deal with. And so Clive decided that we'll form this committee called COVAC, which is the Coronavirus Action Committee. And we started off actually with collecting money for food relief. So we were providing food parcels across Chatsworth. And then we went to RK Khan Hospital to assist with the physical distancing. and put in a massive tent that was assisting with distribution of medication. And right now, COVAC has been assisting with the testing, COVID testing at RK Khan Hospital, where the community is coming in and testing every day. And there's volunteers from COVAC that are there. But COVAC has been providing hot meals, have been providing food parcels, and now they're also providing vitamins and supplements for those people that have tested positive.
And who funds these projects?
It's just been community. It's been community. Where once the call went out for assistance, the support came from all across the country and some from even outside. But it's been so purely community driven and community funded.
That is amazing. Well done to all the sponsors and donors, and that usually come on board to help us when we do these humanitarian work. I think it's we can't do anything without you. So thank you so much to everybody watching and listening. And if you contribute to these initiatives, well done. Thank you for that. So Brandon, you're a man that's been recognized for so many awards and accolades. And the most recent is the prestigious Black Blazer Excellence Award from the USA. And you were nominated by Lee Patel, who's an educator in KZN. And she sent me this amazing write-up about you. And she said, no, he deserves it. He has to win this accolade. And please put his name forward and all of that. And yes, you got it. I just spoke to, yes, you're a recipient of the prestigious Black Blazer of Excellence Award from the USA. And I just spoke to Dr. Carl Wilson this afternoon, in fact, because tomorrow's my birthday, and he phoned to wish me a happy birthday, an early birthday wish. And he said to me, I said to him, I'm going to be chatting to you this evening. And he said, please tell Brandon I said hi and congratulations. So do you have a message for him?
Sure. Okay. First, let me just try to absorb this because, I received awards, but this is the first international award and recognition. And I'm humbled. I'm most humbled. And I want to say thank you again to Dr. Carl Wilson and to the Black Blazer and to everybody that's made this possible. And Deshni. I met Deshni through Facebook, by the way, and we became friends. And then she started coming over to some of our events. And I've been following her. So thank you very much. But this award is not about me. It's about my community, and it's about the people I serve. And so I would never be the person I am had it not been for this community, because I would have never been recognized if I had not been doing the work that I'm doing. So I'm humbled, and I want to say thank you. And I thought your birthday is tomorrow.
Yes, it is tomorrow.
Okay. But but thank you, Shamila. And I want to say that any award or recognition that I get is not about me. It's about the people that I serve. And so I give this award and dedicate it back to my community.
I love that. I absolutely love that. So Dr. Wilson's team will get in touch with you because they will want to get your size of the blazer and send it to you. That's going to be so awesome. It's just unfortunate that we can't travel at the moment because he usually has these big awards events and, awards these people that truly deserve these awards. But that can't happen now because of COVID. There's so many restrictions at the moment. Sure. So we just have to make do with courier services, which takes like 2 to 3 months to get here. But you will get it in due course during the course of this year. Congratulations again. But Thank you also achieved a lot of accolades, local accolades. Anything stands out for you?
Last year, it was actually lockdown, and it was Mandela Day, and we were distributing food parcels to the elderly and blankets. And a friend of mine called me and said, did you see News 24? And I said, no. He said, a friend of mine in Richards Bay sent me this post. And when I looked at it, it was the News 24 Everyday Heroes for Mandela Day. And I didn't even know I was nominated for that. So somebody had nominated me, and News 24 named me as one of the everyday heroes last year on Mandela Day. So I think that for me was really, really blew me away. Yeah.
That is wonderful. Congratulations. I've got a whole list of accolades that you have here, but I'm not going to read through it because I'm sure there's going to be lots of information about you on the internet. People can Google and yes, and find out more about you. But it was so awesome chatting to you. Brandon, your message of inspiration to people out there, there's a lot of people watching and going to watch this chat. What would be your message to them?
My message is simple, and I got this from Mr. Vivian Reddy. He said, if you dream it, you can achieve it. And so it always stands out for me, and I took that very, very strongly, because there's never anything that's impossible, and it all starts with just one idea, one dream, and one thought. So never give up on yourself. Always believe in yourself, and it doesn't matter where you come from. You can still make a change and you can make a difference. Many people said that there's no good that can come out of this community of Bayview, the flats in Chatsworth. But yeah, we have attorneys, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have professors, we have policemen and women, nurses, and now we have a member of parliament.
I love that. I love the way you put yourself at the end, you know? You should put yourself in, at the beginning. Brandon Pele, thank you so much for coming on board and chatting to me. And I really had a great time chatting to you. And I think, you're really an inspirational person, and so many people can actually learn from you. And like you said, don't ever give up on your dreams. That is such a brilliant message that we can end the show with.
Thank you, Shamila, and well done to you and all the work that you're doing. Amazing work. Thank you so much.
It's only a pleasure, Brandon. To everybody watching, thank you so much for watching tonight. If you would like to come on the show, please drop me an email, redcornerchat@gmail.com. Let's get chatting. I'm sure you have a story to tell as well. And look out for my guest next week. I have a guest from India and a guest from the USA. So until then, take care, be safe, bye.
Thank you.